r/NoStupidQuestions, why do old people assume restaurants/pubs are trying to scam them? I assume because most of the time if someone says oh you can have this for free there's a catch. Some waitress told me the cheese came with a sandwich, it was $3 more. I told them I wasn't paying for it because they told me it was included. Most of the time, things aren't free or complimentary, at least not in my experience. $3 for cheese. That's insane. I know when my dad started into cognitive decline, not fully understanding what was happening around him was a constant challenge to his autonomy. For most of his life he understood the math of everything around pretty well, and was fascinated by processes. But as his ability to process all that declined, it made him suddenly dependent on others for things he'd always figured out as he went along. Older people are more vulnerable to scams, because they rarely keep up with what becomes the new normal. Criminals therefore target old people, leading to that becoming even more prevalent. My mom, who is in her 70s, gets multiple cold calls a week from salesmen who may or may not be scam artists. I turned 40s a couple of years ago and the amount of scam calls I get went through the roof. Old people are aware that they're more likely to be scammed and aware that they no longer understand the world and get paranoid about it. Most people are jaded and don't expect nice. It's sad, but most assume if you're doing something nice you must be playing some angle. With two senior parents, I can confirm people try to scam them all the time. Even when I'm standing there beside them. They're cautious for a reason. Because everything is a scam. Maybe they're watching their weight and didn't want an extra scoop of ice cream. I mean, you don't have to eat the extra scoop, just don't scream in my face when you get it. Maybe it's because they know there's no such thing as free and they think because of their age they're being targeted. I think it's just the case of older people being worried about their money and stuff just costing so much more now than when they were younger. I'm in my early 40s and I can recall getting a shite pint down my local for $1.50. The world's changed and is very different, and I think that's worrying, or a source of anxiety for pensioners. Well, I've only been around for half as long as them, and I've only just started realizing how much of a scam the restaurant industry really is. So, by the time you get to be their age, you probably have your guard up the whole time. Projection. Some old people hate and despise young people, and if you try to be nice to them they assume you hate them and try to scam. Holy shit. Is that 3 sentences? What? Your questions aren't stupid. They are poorly presented. Perhaps you have little exposure to these older people. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 that act like this. You calling older people oldies is pretty shitty of you. Can't wait to see what you call other diverse groups of people. Oldies aren't diverse, they're old. If I order 2 scoops and you give me 3, I'll be upset. Either I simply don't want 3 scoops or because I worry you'll charge me for it. Just give people what they ask for. Also, you are stealing product from your employer. That shit can get you arrested. Stop doing it. You are not Robin Hood. I don't give knobheads extra scoops, you're safe, don't worry. It's called honor. It's a concept from way back when, where people expect to pay for what they get and get what they pay for. Yap, WTF are you on about? Honor your generation destroyed the economy and environment, a lot of good honor, did you? Your acquaintance, hey buddy, I baked you some cookies. You, apparently, the dishonor of getting something for free has brought great shame to not only myself but my entire bloodline. So, basically you scam the owners and you wonder why people think you might scam them. Then if you regularly can give something extra, it kind of does mean that the rest of the time prices are too high for the quantity. Why old ladies seem to complain most, you'll have to ask them, really, not in a condescending tone, but apologetic. You might get an honest answer. That said, my best bet is between integrity, and the relationship they have with both money and food and waste or need thereof. And possibly health. Removed. Cause usually restaurants/pubs are trying to scam them. I have never been to a restaurant that has tried to scam me like that before. WTF. Where do you live that it's common? No, they aren't. No one working there cares enough to scam you unless the literal owner is your server. How? And that could be why you aren't getting paid more, because you are stealing product. I'm being paid, I'm just being paid what servers are paid. Which is not enough. Old folks are constantly being preyed upon. It's really sad and fucked up, so yes, they become overly careful. Modern capitalist society at work. Maybe they're projecting they can't imagine giving or doing anything for free, so why would you? No, they're on very tight budgets that will never increase, while their expenses are going way up. Eating out for them is a dangerous adventure with ruin peeking out at them at every turn. What for younger people is no big deal is for them a very big deal. For most people over 70, Life is looking into an otherwise empty shopping bag containing only illness and death. So they're edgy and frightened and see threats and danger all over the place. Honestly, my parents probably get 10 scam phone calls a day and probably twice that many scam emails. It shakes your faith in humanity a bit. They're just anxious in general, as the daily drumbeat of scam attempts puts them on high alert. It's not you. It's me they're screaming at though. I used to work retail and was allowed to give extra discounts to seniors. One lady came up and I gave her the senior discount. She got mad at me that I was charging less than the price on the tag. She wanted to pay full price. The item was already discounted to the price on the tag. It was a good $25 more than the store discount plus senior's discount. She ended up happily paying the full price after I tried explaining to her she had discounts. Sometimes I think they just enjoy being angry. A lot of reasons, I assume. Older people are frequently unhappy and depressed, for various reasons. They are likely in constant pain, which wears a person's happiness down. They feel more vulnerable than they did when they were younger. Society is changing fast around them. They may have been scammed by others. And maybe they are just constantly worried about their money. I'm depressed, constantly in pain and always worried about my money, but I manage not to scream at people being paid minimum wage trying to do something nice for me.